So here you guys can see the Canvas page. And if I go to assignments, just to show this to you guys, right? Go to Rock Identification Lab. And then if you scroll down, I've got a list of 12 rocks or minerals. And I'm just mentioning this now because I haven't gotten the chance to with you guys, so we won't do this on the next lesson. But let me go ahead and view the waiting room. Okay. So I just admitted Ureli and Yorkus. Thank you guys for signing in. I'll mark you as tardy later, but that's better than being absent. So here's the assignment that's due Friday. Again, I've got a list of 12 rocks and minerals, and then I got a picture of these 12. So just match the number with the right names. So for example, I know you guys definitely know this one. Number 2 is gold, right? And then just look up, this is our assignment that's due Friday, guys. Look up whether these are igneous, metamorphic, or sedimentary. And then again, all you got to do after you identify the rock type and what rock it is in this list, just answer briefly these 3 questions, right? So which rock identification characteristic did you find the most useful? Is it possible that the rock can be changed into another? Look that one up as well. And then 3, what's the most rare and valuable, what are some of the most rare, valuable minerals in the world, and where can they be found? So some fun questions there. That's 30 points, guys. This was a lab we did in person in class, and I wanted you guys to have the opportunity to do a virtual version of it. So please get that completed for Friday. You can enter it as a text box or as a written assignment, and take a picture of that. Again, easy 30 points in my opinion, a really great way to really boost your grade to start the quarter. Let me look at the chat here. Let's see if there's a chat. If you guys have a question, again, feel free to leave a message in the chat, and I will respond to that as soon as I finish the lesson here. But let's go back. Again, video's recording, okay? So again, our questions, guys. Also, I'm gonna post a notebook check, and I'm gonna post a unit quiz as well Friday. It doesn't mean you need to finish them that day. They're probably not gonna be due till like the following Tuesday, but if you wanna get that started, I'll post that Friday. I think we might also have a video lesson tomorrow as well, because we didn't have one on Tuesday due to Zoom malfunctioning on us the other day. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and begin our lesson here. Again, like I said before, I'm not going to like pause for people to write too much, because I think it'd be kind of annoying if you guys, if half the lesson was just sitting waiting. I'll let you guys write it. Let me know when you're ready. I think that's going to get frustrating for everybody. So if you want to just take a picture of stuff that's highlighted, or you'd like to just at a later time see the YouTube video and just literally don't even watch the YouTube video since you're already here, just fast forward through things, click through the parts where we had our things that we need to write down, and just do it that way. It's up to you, Okay, so we got 4 questions here. This is on page 7B. Okay, 7B, because 7's probably gonna be quite filled up. Number 1, what activity contributes to landslides? Number 2, how did the Grand Canyon form? And number 3, how do V-shaped valleys form? And 4, list these in order from largest to smallest. We have gully, river, rill, and canyon. So I know for a fact we should know number 1. Number 2 is new. We're going to watch a little bit of a video for that. And 3 is definitely new. We're going to learn that today, actually. And then 4, list these in order from largest to smallest. Gully, river, rill, canyon. Again, that is not new. I think we went over most of those yesterday. So make sure we've hopefully understand those. Let me see if okay, I got the chat here. Okay, I see the chat. Can you let Brianna in? I think I did let Brianna. Let me double check, make sure I let Brianna in. Yep, Brianna's in. Okay. So we're gonna do this chat-wise, because I think if it's all audio, it might get. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, guys, with the live session. So yeah. So does anybody want to maybe answer number 1? Does anybody remember what activity contributes to landslides before I show that answer? I've got my chat here, guys. So feel free to answer. Okay. This is where I will pause. I'll give you guys, let me see my clock here. I'm going to start my clock so I get us going on this. Let's see. I'm going to put 30 minutes on there. We're going to try and get beneath 20 minutes, so below 10 minutes. Anybody have an answer? So how do what might happen for a landslide to form? Any ideas, comments? Feel free to add in the chat. And if you guys do add in the chat, I may give you like extra, participation points. Add things to things if if that helps maybe get us more engaged here. Erosion. Yeah, so erosion, that's a good answer, right? That's where water is breaking down rock and mineral, right? But if you remember though, so like say we have an earthquake that could shake up the rock, but also think about what human activity contributes to landslides. Like what do humans do specifically to an area to cause a landslide to happen more, to have it be more likely? Any ideas on that one? Think about what's a bad thing we do to nature? What's a bad thing we do to forest? Feel free to add in the chat. And this is all new to me, guys. I'm used to just running through this and just saying it all at once, right? Okay, construction. Okay, definitely. That's definitely one we could look at because before they are building like houses and things around an area, what are they gonna break down before that? Probably. Free to type it in. Feel free to type it in. So what do they have to get rid of? Yes, the trees. Great job, Amira. Great job. I'm going to open for questions. I'm going to unmute everybody for questions later for if you have like verbal questions. Yeah, so for number one, guys, again, feel free to write this or take a picture of it. We have earthquakes and logging. So logging is just the cutting down of trees. And what they do is when they cut down these trees, they take out the stumps, and when the stumps get taken out, okay, making sure I get everyone in the participation. They take out the stumps, and like if you guys ever remove a plant from your yard, it loosens up all the dirt, and then once the dirt's all loosened up, when it rains, all that dirt's going to just slide on down, and it's going to be a big problem. A big problem. Great job. Back to number two. Again, feel free to record those answers because those could be Go Blue answers or notebook checks, right? My bad, notebook quiz answers, right? You got to have all that. How did the Grand Canyon form? We're going to watch a video on that. And you know what? In fact, let's go ahead and write, again, for number two, I'm just going to show that video now. So if you guys want to go ahead and for that, if you've already written it down, just make sure, again, that'll be a video answer. Because what I did here, guys, what I did was... that was a video question. It was this right here. Oh, hold on. I'm showing stuff. So how was the Grand Canyon formed and what makes it unique? So I'm just going to show a little bit of this. And because YouTube, you know, with all their restrictions, I can't show all the video. But let's go ahead. I'm just going to show a little bit of it. If you want to watch all of it later, you can. But this is going to kind of give us a glimpse as to how the Grand Canyon got deeper and then how it got wider as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut right to the part where it talks about how it got deeper here. Okay.
Time, but this river is special. It drops 10 feet for every mile that it travels and carries 500,000 tons of silt and sand and rocks downstream every day. It's like small rivers join together to make larger ones, some pool up into lakes, some even change direction. And about 5 or 6 million years ago, the Colorado River was born. That's not that old in geological time, but this river is special. It drops 10 feet for every mile that it travels and carries 500,000 tons of silt and sand and rocks downstream every day. It's like liquid sandpaper. It cut the plateau backwards, the same way that a waterfall wears away at a cliff.
Okay, so essentially what's going to make it deeper, guys, it's going to be the river. Okay, at the bottom of most canyons, there are rivers, and those rivers break down the rock. And we had this huge opening in the ground because that river was flowing. It broke down the rock, and it, like I said, like a hot knife through butter. It was cutting that rock over time. So the river's going to make it deeper. Let's find out really quick what makes it wider. Let me go ahead and just kind of move some of the stuff around. I'm still, and again, guys, we're going to get faster at this as we go because I'm just trying to figure this out a little bit. Again, this is how it got wider, guys.
Rain and ice chipping that deep. But how did the canyon get so wide? Well, gravity took over. Rain and ice chipping away at the canyon walls, and as it fell, it was carried downstream. Fossils and rocks from this area have even been found downstream almost as far as the Gulf of downstream.
How did it get wider, guys? Rain and ice broke down at the sides of it. Again, when water enters those little cracks and crevices and it freezes, water expands. So it pops open these little rocks and eventually the sides just kind of fall down. And that's what made the canyon so wide in the first place, right? Another spectacular thing about it is that it's kind of like an upside down mountain. So again, we had this massive opening in the earth because a river was at the bottom cutting it down, and then the sides of it broke down from rain and ice. So let's go ahead and go back to our Go Blue. That was something I should have covered yesterday. And again, if you want to pause the video when you see it on YouTube here, you can see the answers here, right? The Colorado River cut carved the canyon deeper. Rain and ice made the canyon wider, and then it formed into an upside down mountain. Okay, so let's go back to our Go Blue then to answer that. Because I'm just going to give you, that was the only long one we'll do, guys. I'm going to give you number 3 that we haven't done it yet either. Simply put, guys, rivers make the canyons deeper. Rain and ice make the canyons wider. Okay, that's the idea there. So make sure you got that down. Feel free to take pictures as we go. And I'm going to show you all the Go Blue in a second. For number 3, we had what makes valleys, right? V-shaped valleys. So we know U-shaped valleys. Let me pull up the chat here. Okay. Does anybody remember what kind of erosion makes U-shaped valleys? Anybody remember that? And again, if you do participate in chat, guys, that's participation. So I use that to help round your grade up if you are close to the next letter grade. So say you have like an 87 and you have fantastic participation. That's kind of like extra credit that I can use to add some points to that 87, maybe get closer to a 90, right? So I'm just kind of using that to get us to participate the best we can, even though we are online. But does anybody remember what makes U-shaped valleys? Is it gravity erosion, glacial erosion, or wind erosion? What makes U-shaped valleys? Looks like I got an answer here from Amira again. Glacial, that is correct. Fantastic job, Amira. That's going to be glacial. So now we need to know what makes V-shaped valleys, because a lot of people on our quiz maybe on for tomorrow, I don't want you to mix this up if you do see this. So it's going to be water and wind erosion instead. You're going to have a river at the bottom, and then the wind at the top is going to break down the tops of it. So water and wind erosion. And then lastly, guys, our last question, let me go back to that. List these in order from largest to smallest. Again, we had gully, river, rill, and canyon. Go ahead, if anybody wants to type that out themselves, they can. So again, between a gully, canyon, river, rill, from largest to smallest. If anybody wants to participate and type that out, they can. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to a minute, and if nobody does, we'll just move on. So again, that was our Go Blue question number 4. We should still have 17 participants. Good job. Again, if you sign out, guys, again, I don't want you to mess with your participation. We're only going to be doing this 2 days a week, guys. No stress, no worries. Give you guys 10 more seconds to answer. If not, I will move on and show it to you. Again, it's just participation points. So list these from largest to smallest. We have a gully, rill, river, canyon. It was from yesterday's lesson. I'm going to go ahead and move on, guys. From largest to smallest, the canyon is the largest. Remember, you got a river at the bottom. The river is the second largest. It's the main form, okay? And then gully is like the medium-sized river or stream. We talked about that in yesterday's lesson. And then the rill is like the baby river. That's the smallest river, the baby river, okay? So again, make sure you got that. Take a picture of all that now. I'll give you a moment if you feel like you need to. That is the order of those from largest to smallest, largest to smallest. We did our main video question already, which was answered in our Go Blue right there. Rivers make it deeper. The rain and ice make the Grand Canyon wider. So I think you got an answer there that you might need for a future quiz or notebook check. You're all good to go. That's all on page 7B or 7, guys, page 7B or 7. Go ahead now and let's go back to page 8. Yesterday we defined rill, river, and gully. So I want to quickly add something to canyon. If you need a moment, again, to write this, go ahead and type that in the chat. So I'll give you guys 10, 15 seconds. If you said need time, again, if I need time, type that out. If not, we're going to move on. I've got just 3, 4 quick terms to show. And then I'm in the middle of that, I'll go to a quick practice question. Because I want to see what you guys think. I want to get that chat feedback. And again, maybe as we go, I'll stop doing the chat. I'll do the vocal instead. I'm just learning as I go, guys. We'll get a lot faster at this as we go along. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on then. I think the table of contents is new. So if you want to add pages 9 and 10, deposition, you can add that now to your table of contents. Take a moment to do that. I'll give you some time because this is so short. I'm not going to speed through it. You can just add that real quick. That's on page 1 of our notebook. Again, every new unit we do a new table of contents, as you guys remember. So again, 9 and 10 at deposition. This maybe helps you find things for your notebook checks, et cetera, right? Okay. I'm just going to scroll through the, let me see the members here. Okay, it looks like I only have Joseph with the live feed, which is fine. As long as you guys are here, you're good. I got Diego. I'm not sure what anime that is. So feel free to let me know what anime that is. I'm not sure what character that is, Diego. It's pretty cool. I'm looking through here. I think I saw Hawks is his name from My Hero Academia. Kara is Hawks maybe, or if I'm wrong, maybe it's a different name. I've not gotten that far in the show yet to meet him yet. Yeah. So again, I do watch a lot of anime, as you guys probably assume or know. Anytime you got characters as their icons, I think that's always cool. And anytime your photos are always cool too. Okay. Let's see. Kara. Yes, it is Hawks. Okay, thank you for letting me know. He seems like a really cool character. I can't wait to see him in the show. I'm still like halfway through season 4. I got to the overhaul arc, right? So they're I think Midoriya just beat him in that, and then I got to wait till the English episodes come out. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on then to the chat has been removed. I'm gonna see if I can get one of our practice questions here. Try not to see if you can see the answer. This will be our only question. We'll do one question a day. Which type of erosion causes the greatest amount of rock breakdown? I need everyone to please, again, just so I know you're kind of here, just participate in the chat. Give your best answer. Is it A, water, B, glacial, C, gravity, or D, wind? Go ahead. Let me see the chat here. Give it your best answer. See what you know. See what you got. I don't know about you guys. I'm having fun so far with this online class. I got to we'll turn the audio on maybe next time. We'll just see. And then we get out. I'm just checking the clock here. We get out at 2:35. Okay. So we've got 24 minutes. I'm going to try and get this done in 10 minutes, guys. How about that? Okay. I got a lot of C, some gravity answers. Remember, A is water, B is glacial, C, gravity, D is wind. So which of these types of erosion does the greatest amount of rock break down? Which is the strongest force? Which breaks down the rock the easiest? I got somebody saying A or B or D. So I like that, Tiana. So, hey, it could be only choosing 3, but not one of them, right? Anybody else have answers here? Participate. If you participate, again, I can add that to your participation grade, and then if you participate, it helps you remember it at a later time. Okay. Irina says A. Okay. I like it. All right. So for the sake of time, I got to get done in 10 minutes here, guys. That way I don't keep it too long. I don't keep you here too long. The answer is going to be A, guys. Water. Water is the greatest force of erosion. It's going to be A. So it looks like we said Angel kind of got half. You guessed too, but he got it. We had Irina got it correct. Great job, Irina. Great job, Amira. Got those correct. So if you did get caught up with yesterday's video lesson, you would have known that. Again, glaciers erode a lot. Gravity can erode some. Wind does erode some with the sandstorms. But water does the greatest amount of rock breakdown. Okay, let's go to page 8. If you guys didn't have page 8 already, that's it for questions for today, guys. We'll stop with the questions for today there. Let's go to water erosion on page 8. If you didn't get all caught up with yesterday's lesson from YouTube, okay? Again, the title is page 8. Watch that video lesson on YouTube. Listen to it. Keep it short. It's like 12, 13 minutes long. We're just going to have to accept the fact that the Zoom lessons are going to be a little longer. I'll try my best to keep it at 20, 15 minutes. We'll just learn as we go. So yeah, watch that video so you're all caught up. We did all this. We did Rill. That was from the Go Blue today, right? Let me see if I can make it just me here. Okay. Yeah, so since we're not, that way I just want to make sure that it didn't record the chat stuff. Yeah, so we did Rill, we did Gully. So we're basically writing down a bunch of structures that are examples of water erosion, and we left off on river. We just talked about, watch that video to get all of that on page 8. If you don't have all that on page 8, again, the title of page 8, guys, is water erosion, water erosion. If you didn't get all of that, just follow along with me today and then add these later. Now, here's our video question. guess what? I made it really easy for you guys. I skipped through the part of the video that you needed to watch. And we've already answered this question on our Go Blue and Yellow. So you guys are good. You don't even need to worry about it if you are here today. The people who are not here right now, they're going to have to do that at a later time, right? And again, they need to be here for participation for their attendance anyway. So they're already behind you guys. All right, so our next example is canyon. Let me go ahead and highlight that. So this is short enough to where I feel like you could write it. But maybe if you don't like waiting and having us pause the video a lot, then I'll just continue where it's left off. So canyon, we already answered that it's formed by a river. We see the river here at the bottom, right, guys? Okay, but just understand, I want you to jot down for canyon also on page 8 of our notebooks. It's a larger cutout by a river, but very narrow at the bottom. Again, these are like upside down mountains. So again, we got a big opening, it's wide at the top, but narrow at the bottom. So we see that drop off here, we see that narrowing there. Okay, narrow at the bottom, narrow at the bottom. Okay, I'm just gonna see kind of what our students are doing here. I don't know, I think I see maybe Joseph writing. If not, you know, you can take pictures, guys, because like I said, I don't want you sitting here waiting too long, right? I feel like with online classes, we can be a little more flexible. We can maybe, you know, if you guys can just take a picture or pause it on a YouTube video, right? But I think the video lessons are key because what they allow us to do, guys, is it allows us to kind of interact. It allows me to check in with you better. You know, I think you guys could always give me a call on the Google Voice or you know, leave me a Canvas message, but I do definitely feel like there's an element of just checking in with everybody, making sure we're all good on stuff with this video lesson, with the Zoom lesson, right? All right, I'm gonna move on. Again, I don't want to go too slow. We're gonna go faster as we go along here. I don't see anybody saying anything in the chat that, hey, you need to slow down, you're going too fast, or I need to write that down. So I'm just gonna move on. Like I said, guys, take a picture or pause it when it's on YouTube. I think that's gonna be kind of what our go-to is. We're gonna skip that. Okay, our next topic is what's called V-shaped valleys. So go ahead, I'm gonna highlight the title there. Okay, guys, we're only gonna do 3 or 4 of these, guys, don't worry. So again, write down what's highlighted, guys. So remember, we went over U-shaped valleys. That can confuse people a lot. So you got to know the difference between V-shaped valley and U-shaped valley, okay? A U-shaped valley, as I think Amira said earlier, is formed from glacial erosion. And this was already on our Go Blue, right? But V-shaped valleys formed by water and wind erosion, So make sure you write that down on page 8. Typically have a river at the base. So again, unlike the glacier bulldozing through the U-shape, this is gonna really just kind of, the river's gonna break it down at the bottom, and then the wind is gonna kind of cut away at the tops of it a little bit. But it's going to pick up sediment, and the tops are going to kind of scratch up the tops of it a little bit, right? If you guys have ever been hit by sand on a windy day, it hurts. It kind of stings, right? Well, imagine that kind of times 10 at the tops of these valleys. That's what's chiseling away at the top. That's what's giving it that V shape, right? Okay. Does anybody need more time? This is short enough to where I'm just going to kind of move on without the picture. I don't think anyone needs more time. I'm going to show you a quick little video clip here. Again, I'm only going to show 30 seconds to a minute of these. You can watch the fullness of these at a later time. If there is a video question, I'll try to skip to the parts that have the answer on it. Otherwise, those of us who are not...
First off, what is a valley?
One second. Otherwise, those of us who are not here will just have to watch the fullness of it at a later time. You guys are getting it out of the way right now. Okay, let's go and check this out. So what is a valley?
In the first place. Well, we can say they look like big long cracks in the ground, but the definition of a valley is a low area of land between hills or mountains, typically with a river or a stream flowing through it. They can range wildly in size, from small ones to dozens of kilometers across. Valleys are really simple, but they're incredibly important to us. They are some of the most iconic landmarks, such as the Grand Canyon in the United States, which is often considered one of the wonders of the world. And some valleys were critical for the development of early civilizations of humans, such as Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt. So, how are valleys formed?
Well, there are a lot of different ways valleys can be made, so we'll just have to run through the most common ones. River valleys are formed by streams of water over the course of thousands of years, with erosion wearing away at the underlying dirt and rock, often causing them to take a V shape. A good example of this is, of course, the Grand Canyon in Grand Canyon National Park. There's also glacial valleys.
So again, we watched half of that. Hopefully that's not too much where YouTube gets mad at me for that. Again, just a little example there. You can watch the entire video when I post it on Canvas after school today. So again, got to know water erosion and wind erosion. When we have our, this will probably be, yeah, if this is on the unit quiz, if not, it'll be definitely on the next one in another 2 weeks. I used to say that I'd have unit quizzes every Friday, but I feel like that would be too much. I'm going to keep it like a good 15 question, 12 question unit quiz every other week. I think worked out well for us last quarter. But yeah, if I do show, when I do, and if I show this on the quiz, I'm going to say what types of erosion best create V-shaped valleys. And each answer is going to say water. It's going to say water and wind, A, water and glacial, B. It'll say maybe gravity and wind, C. Like, so that'd be the idea you need to know for that, right? Okay. Here's another little video clip, or let's look at how exactly do waterfalls work / form. And it's not as simple as, let me kind of pull up our chat here. It's not as simple as, it's not as simple as water just going off of a cliff, guys. It's not as simple as that. You can get a flat river and then eventually the water makes that cliff, okay? So I'm just for the sake of speeding our lesson up, let's go ahead. Let me just show that to you right now, okay? Go ahead, make sure we got that down on page 8, guys, page 8. Let me highlight the title there. Okay. So waterfall, that's our next topic on page 8. Don't forget, if you didn't have it already, you need to have river, rill, and gully. We got to know all these different water erosion examples. But for waterfalls, guys, okay, for waterfalls, I'm trying to keep writing that, guys. I'm just write that down while I'm getting this. I'm trying to get this thing set up here. Trying to make sure I want to see the chat thing. I want to make it vertical. It's making it horizontal. Strange. Okay, well, I'll just deal with it, I guess. I'll just deal with it. Okay, so, all right, there's me. So, for waterfalls, guys, basically what happens, it's not just water going off of a cliff. You got two types of rock beneath the water, and the water is constantly eroding and breaking down that rock. Rivers are never going to stay the same constantly. They're going to, over time, keep changing more and more and more, okay? So you have fast-moving flow of water moving over a cliff, but sometimes it forms that cliff because there's two types of rock beneath that water. And the softer rock is going to break down a lot faster than the tougher rock up top. So when the softer rock breaks down at a faster rate, it ends up forming that cleft that you see here in this picture and as well as in this diagram, and that's going to make a waterfall. The splashback from the falling water breaks down the soft rock a lot more than the hard rock. Now the hard rock is eroding too, but much slower, and eventually that hard rock will fall down. So if you ever go in a waterfall, you got to be careful because at any moment that rock can fall on you. You could have a stone, fall on your head. It could be very dangerous, deadly situations. You got to be careful under a waterfall because it's constantly eroding. So think of this kind of like a Reese's cup, right? This is like I like Reese's cups when they're cold, kind of. If I got them in the refrigerator, you don't want them in the freezer because they'll be too hard to eat, right? You don't want to hurt your teeth a little bit. But this is like the chocolate covering. That's a little tougher. But then once you bite into the peanut butter cup, the peanut butter is a little softer than the chocolate, right? So that's just what I thought about when I saw this picture. Sorry if that's a little funny to say, but the peanut butter is going to definitely melt faster than the chocolate will. That's the idea as to how we get a waterfall. So let's go ahead. Let's check out a quick video. I don't see anybody in the chat making any comments, so I'm going to assume I'm good to go. And this bar here that I'm using to see all of you guys is really confusing me. So hopefully I get it figured out eventually. Did I get it figured out? Oh, well, okay. Let's go to our video. quick little video example. I think this is going to be my last video of the day. Yeah, last one of the day, guys. Last video of the day. We're going to end here in the next few minutes. How do waterfalls form? This is going to really help you visualize what I just talked about, right?
First, a layer of resistant hard rock is undercut by the erosion of the softer rock beneath. This forms a step over which the water flows. The force of the falling water hitting the soft rock below creates a plunge pool, which is deepened by the abrasion of falling angular rock. Further erosion, worsened by the splashback from the falling water in the plunge pool, causes the overhanging hard rock to eventually collapse under its own weight. As this cycle of erosion and collapsing continues, the waterfall steepens and recedes back upstream, creating a steep side gorge and increasingly tall waterfall.
So as you can see here, guys, the water flows, the soft rock breaks down faster, the hard rock takes longer to break down, so again, it takes a longer time, but eventually does fall as well. Got to be careful because that stuff's going to fall on you. If you're, usually there's like a cave or a grotto in the back of a waterfall, got to be